Drake May.
Yeah.
Drake May. Here's Drake May on what he needs to work on because, yes, they go on the road every week, at least when they aren't playing at home. Here's what he needs to work on as he gets ready for season number 3.
I think first off, just what a long journey it is, to get to that game, and as many bumps or bruises or time you spend or how long it's field. It's really it's worth it when you are in that game and you have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Not try to stay at the same level, coming into next year and try to act like, man, we're here and we're fine. We just need to keep doing what we're doing. You got to elevate, and teams are going to be looking at what we did, how we improved so quickly, and how we won the division and won the AFC and a lot of great things. So teams are going to try to have a bullseye on us to try to stop us. So we got to not try to be complacent and know that teams are going to be chasing us, and we got to try to chase the Seahawks.
I dialed up the wrong video, but I'm intrigued by this.
Yeah.
I feel like the bullseye isn't going to be as big on the Patriots as it otherwise would be based upon their performance in the Super Bowl. Isn't that weird?
No, I hear you. And the way the playoffs went. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I feel like the bullseye is still going to be bigger on the Bills. Because of the move they made.
Yeah.
Fire Sean McDermott.
Right.
This urgency, new stadium, Josh Allen. I think that the Patriots cratered enough in the Super Bowl, and there's this perception they just got lucky in the playoffs. I don't think the bullseye is going to be as big as it ordinarily would be.
No, man, I think you're probably right with a little bit of that logic there. I hear you there. And yeah, the way the playoffs shook out a little bit, you can sit there. I mean, listen, it's not crazy. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I picked the Patriots to go to the playoffs. We knew how good they were, but it's not crazy to sit there and think and go, man, if the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud just kneeled on the ball, they would have probably won the game if they just kneeled on it. So that's, yeah. And then
every play.
I mean,
punt
literally
on second
every
down.
play, and just punt and go. The defense will put us in a spot where we can kick some field goals sometimes. Just keep kneeling it. Right, so there's that. And then, of course, we know the Denver game fell in a way that was just perfect for them. So I do agree with you there. I don't think the league's going to be looking at it like they looked at some of the Patriot Brady teams that lost in the Super Bowl where they were like, wow, I mean, whoa, they barely lost. It's still the Patriots. It's Brady. They've won Super Bowls. So, yeah, that's aura is not there yet. It hasn't been earned yet. It's on a path to that. But as we also know, yeah, between not maybe having the bullseye, their schedule is going to be a whole lot different next year. It's going to be a first-place schedule. They're going to have to deal with a whole different class of football teams. And oddly enough, I don't know if there's any team in the AFC that you look at that necessarily has a real big bullseye on it right now, right? The kind of to what you talked about yesterday. There's some quarterbacks in the AFC and all that, but it just feels like we talked about towards the end of the season, that the complete teams, the real complete full teams are more in the NFC as we sit here right now than the AFC.
Consider this. Next year, in addition to the 6 games they play in the division, the Bills twice, Jets twice, Dolphins twice.
Yeah.
The Patriots are at Chicago, at Kansas City, at Detroit, at Jacksonville, at the Chargers, and at the Seahawks.
Whoa.
Not an easy road slate.
Whoa.
And their home games include, beyond the Bills, Dolphins, and Jets,
right,
the Broncos, the Packers, the Vikings, the Steelers, and the Raiders.
Yeah,
so
that's
and the
rough.
Raiders beat them last year in New England, so they gotta watch their backs for that one too. So easy schedule last year, not this year, and I think it just all adds to this idea that the AFC has, in recent years, it has been this feeling that it's really top heavy with 3 or 4 teams. This year, it's going to feel very wide open. Now, I think somebody's going to emerge. I don't know who.
Right.
Somebody's going to emerge, and there's a lot to be done. Free agency. People are going to stay. People are going to go. New players coming in. Draft picks. We're going to have the vibe. We're going to have the sense once we get closer, but don't dismiss the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes.
Of course not.
Don't dismiss the Bills with Josh Allen. Don't dismiss the Texans with that defense. Year 2 for Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. I mean, there are going to be some good teams, but it feels more wide open than it has in years in the AFC.
Yeah, the Ravens, of course, with Lamar Jackson and Jesse Minter and what that's going to be. Yeah, I would agree with you, though. It does feel more wide open.
If Lamar's still there.
Yeah, I expect that to be. But yeah, the Patriots, they got a little money to spend. As we know, they were playing with house money, so let's not forget that. We did not expect them to be in the Super Bowl, right? Realistically, I'm not sure if anybody there in that building really thought they were going to be in the Super Bowl when the start of offseason started last year. But it all came together because they got a great coach, they got a great OC, they got a superstar quarterback, right? They got some people up front on both sides of the ball that you can build around a little bit. We know the left tackle situation is work in progress. We'll see where it goes from there. But now, hey, the big thing is, I think with the Patriots, like we saw in the game on the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl is the ultimate, like, we're going to either shine or our kryptonite's going to be exposed here or whatever. And yeah, they need another playmaker on the offensive side of the ball. That's what you realize. Again, the receivers are good, but there's no one guy that really attacks the attention of a defense like, oh, whoa, if we don't watch out for him, he'll ruin the game. The defense has got a lot of damn good, but, could they, another pass rusher, somebody else up front that can be disruptive and make plays for them too? I certainly could see them, flirting with that as well. So we'll see where it goes. But I am with you in that the AFC seems like it's a little more wide open than it has been in years past.
And I want to circle back to what I said about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, because Ravens fans are going to get triggered, some of them, by anything that I ever say about the team. Here's my point on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He's got a $74.5 million cap number this year. Now, Steve Bisciotti, the owner of the team, has already said they will activate their prerogative to restructure the deal. They'll kick the can. They'll get the cap number to come down this year. That's fine. But the better outcome is to do a long-term contract. He wants a long-term contract. He deserves an adjustment. He's at 52.5. The top of the market's at 60. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
No doubt.
And Bisciotti also said a month ago that they want to get this done by the start of free agency.
Right.
I guess there was some, with all the Super Bowl pregame stuff on the other networks, they were reporting stuff that really wasn't new, like, hey, the Ravens are expected to try to work out an extension with Lamar Jackson. Yeah, no shit. Bisciotti said it last month. Like, tell me something I don't already know. Tell me something the world doesn't already know. But I know they had to fill the time somehow. But until they sign that contract, until he does it, I'm looking at this saying, I don't know what the future holds.
Right, everybody
short-term or long-term.
Right.
And I still don't know what Lamar Jackson thinks of Jesse Minter. I don't know whether or not Lamar Jackson would have preferred an offensive head coach with head coaching experience, because we haven't heard anything from him. That's the problem. When you rarely say anything for yourself, and when you don't have an agent who can sprinkle different little things among the folks who do this for a living, you really don't know what a guy's thinking until he says what he has to say. It'll be interesting when we're in Indy in 2 weeks, and I can't believe it's 2 weeks. Hell, 2 weeks from now, we'll be 1 day away from coming home. We're going to be there in 11 days. But whatever the buzz is, the chatter, the talk about what Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are going to do, because they're getting closer and closer. The new league year begins 4 weeks from today, 3 weeks and 6 days from today. It begins March 11th. It's coming. It's coming. So we're going to get some clarity or not. And remember, Lamar Jackson has the full power here, Chris. All he has to say is, I'll spend 2 more years here, and then I'll go wherever I want to go, because there's a no-tag clause on the back end of his contract. They can't force him to stay. He'll be an unrestricted free agent in March of 2028.
Yeah, I think everybody has the questions you have. I think that's league-wide. Everybody wonders whether or how much Lamar, wants to stay there. How long? Is Miami on the radar? I think that's all a thought, right? And I get that. But, man, the Ravens, he's iconic. He's, like we've talked about, one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. He is. There's no denying that. And he's one of the faces of the all-time franchise there. Ray Lewis, Jonathan Ogden, Lamar Jackson, Terrell Suggs, whoever. I mean, he's up there with Ray Lewis as far as being one of the faces of the history of the Ravens organization. There's no doubt about it. So we'll see where it goes. And also, too,
he's got to get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
He's got to
right.
Baltimore.
It's him and Josh Allen are fighting the same thing here. There's no doubt, and that's what's crazy about it. It's to me becoming one of the biggest stories in the sport almost every year. Is that two of the all-time greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life have yet to get there. And that's going to be a thing, and now we're starting to get, it's Dan Marino-ish, where you're like, damn, at least Dan got there once, so they got to even get there. That's what's crazy. But if I'm Lamar, again, if he's really, paying attention to the league, I'm a little excited about what you got going. First off, Jesse Minter, you know what I think about him. His defense, it's real. It's one of the best schematical defenses in all of football. There's no denying that. And then the offensive side of the ball, we got a guy in Declan Doyle who came from Chicago, and Ben Johnson, and has worked for him. And so there's potential there. I don't know what to think of Declan, right? But just like, we've seen with Shanahan McVay, if you're associated with Ben Johnson anymore, you're going to start being, hey, you want to come coach our offense? Because they're offensive geniuses. And if he can live up to somewhat of the potential of what Ben Johnson and the Bears offense does, you go, whoa, that Lamar Jackson and that Bears offense underneath the center, all the play actions and boots and all the cool things they do, there's got great potential there. So that's where I would be if I was talking to Lamar. I'd go, hey, man, give this a shot. This might work. This might be the best thing that ever happened to you. So let's see where it goes. But I'm kind of intrigued by their whole setup right now.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.